Kate is one of the most photographed, most talked about, most written about women in the world, both wife of one future monarch and mother of another. But as the daughter of an airline attendant who grew up in public housing, Kate was not destined for this fate. She had to fight for it and for the love of the future king. The definitive portrait of Kate Middleton from New York Times best-selling royal biographer Christopher Andersen is available now, and I am so happy to say that the author is with us. Welcome to the show. How are you this morning?
I'm great, Natalie. How are you doing?
I am well. I'm always fascinated about people who take the challenge, I'm going to say, in writing a biography on somebody that so many people think they know the true story. So first off, how long did you work on Kate?
Well, I've been covering the royal family for 52 years, so let's just say that. No, I mean, seriously, I worked at Time Magazine. I covered the royals at People Magazine, where I was a founding editor. I covered the royals for many, many years. And this is my 7th book on the royal family. So I have included things about Kate in the past. But, she's so deserving of her own comprehensive biography. And because she is the person who's going to save the monarchy, in my opinion. I think there's no doubt about that.
Okay, I've got it. My follow-up wasn't going to be this, but it's got to be now. Why do you say that is?
Well, because she brings a kind of a human quality. Is the same thing that Diana brought in some ways. She connects with people in a very real way, in a way that the royals have been kind of a stiff lot over the years. They're raised in this cocoon and they can't connect with people because they don't know about the lives of real people. And you look at Charles and Camilla; they would be much more comfortable in the 19th century, even now. But Kate is taking what Diana started and carrying it forward, and she's doing that because she has the love and support of a husband who is completely dedicated to her, and that was something that Diana unfortunately never had.
You, of course, the author behind The Day Diana Died. And so to dive into the royals to the level that you have and all the books that you've done, it's interesting to see the two of them, because I feel like looking, of course, at this picture, for instance, you really see a relationship. And so many times I feel like you haven't been able to see that in the royal family. Do you agree? Is that part of the reason you're saying, yes, she's going to be the one that's going to save the royal family?
Absolutely. Not only that, she's more recently, we've seen a lot more PDAs, between William and Kate. They held hands, they kissed, they hug, and they don't do anything sloppy because that's not their style, but they never would have done that in the past. But I think that this cancer journey of Kate, this 2 years of just brutal chemotherapy, and then having to kind of deal with it and her family and her children, it's brought them much closer together. And it's brought Kate closer together with the king, because the king, as we know, was astoundingly diagnosed with cancer practically the same day as Kate was. And so they've had to go through this journey together, and you'll see pictures of Charles and Kate hugging and laughing, and a lot of touching going on there too, because they're very, very fond of each other.
Well, and I kind of have already alluded to this a little bit. When you take on the challenge, even given, of course, your years of being around the royals, I feel like there's got to be an element that even you as the author are surprised about or looking forward to writing while you're in the writing process. What part of the book is that for you, or that you are excited for readers to be able to really embark on? Is there a part of her life?
Well, there's so many things that we didn't. I did not. I have to say that some of her Kate's first words were Arabic, because when she was a little girl, the family relocated to Jordan for several years. So from the ages of 2 to 5, she read Arabic phrases from the Quran in nursery school, and she still knows a little bit of Arabic. Tidbits like that I find fascinating, but also the real stuff. Did you know that, by the way?
No.
But also the behind the scenes stuff when she was, for example, getting her chemo, and the internet was going wild, and they were running these incredible conspiracy theories about, because she disappeared, nobody knew why.
Yeah.
And they and social media just went rampant with stuff about the marriage breaking up, or maybe she died and they were looking for a body double to replace her, all sorts of crazy things. But she was in fact having secret, chemo treatments, very cloak and dagger, getting in the back of her assistant's car, hunkering down, going into a side door into Royal Marsden Hospital in central London, getting her chemo alone, no record that she was having it. And so then after 2 months of that, she makes this stunning announcement to the world. If you remember, she was wearing this striped sweater sitting on a park bench. The striped sweater would hide the fact that she lost 15 pounds during chemo. It was grueling for her. She didn't lose her hair, fortunately, but she got through it, and then had to tell the kids. And I described that also in the book, that they sat them down at the kitchen table and told them, and the reaction was interesting.
Well, someone with your experience and your talents, I personally can't wait to dive in. Of course, it is available now. Kate, the courage, grace, and power of the woman who will be queen. Thank you so much.
So great to talk to you. Thank you.